Lazy people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they use the wrong strategy. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Some of the most successful people you admire aren't hardworking, they're energy efficient. Science shows that laziness, when understood correctly, can actually be an advantage. But only if it's redirected the right way. In this video, I'll show you how lazy people become successful, why forcing motivation backfires, and the one psychological shift that turns low effort into high results. Stay until the end, because this will change how you see discipline forever. Let's normalize something first. If you've ever struggled with consistency, long hours, grinding every day, you're not broken. Your brain is just wired to avoid unnecessary effort. That's not a flaw, it's biology. But here's the challenge. Society glorifies hard work, while biology rewards efficiency. So lazy people try to act like disciplined people. And disciplined people burn out trying to fight their biology. Over time, this mismatch compounds into procrastination, guilt, quitting cycles. The real question isn't, how do I stop being lazy? It's, how do I design success around how my brain actually works? Motivated. This is the biggest lie. Motivation is unreliable. Studies in behavioral psychology show motivation fluctuates daily, sometimes hourly. Lazy people fail when they wait for motivation. But successful, lazy people do something different. They remove friction instead of adding effort. People who rely on motivation burn energy just deciding what to do. The brain avoids effort, not success. So if effort is the problem, what replaces it? Here's something science proves. Decision fatigue kills consistency. The more decisions you make, the more exhausted your brain becomes. Lazy people naturally hate decisions. Successful lazy people exploit this. They automate routines, simplify choices, use fixed schedules, same wake-up time, same work block, same systems. People who overplan feel productive but execute less. Discipline isn't force, it's default. But what about action when you still don't feel like doing anything? There's a principle called activation energy. The brain resists starting tasks that feel large. Lazy people avoid tasks entirely because they feel overwhelming. Successful lazy people shrink tasks to the point where resistance disappears. Not, I'll work for 2 hours. But, I'll open the document. I'll write 1 sentence. I'll do 5 minutes. Once started, momentum takes over. Waiting for perfect energy leads to permanent delay. Starting small isn't weakness, it's strategy. Let me call you out directly. If you label yourself as lazy, you're not being honest, you're being careless. Your brain is efficient. You just never learned how to work with it. Laziness isn't the enemy. Unstructured effort is. Now let's talk about what actually separates successful lazy people from stuck ones. Willpower is limited. Systems are renewable. Successful lazy people set reminders. Use checklists. Design environments that force action. Example. If the phone is in another room, focus increases. If the app is deleted, distraction drops. They don't try harder. They make failure inconvenient. People who rely on willpower quit when life gets hard. Systems work even when you don't want to. But what about long-term success? Here's the irony. Hard workers often quit. Lazy system builders last. Because they optimize for sustainability, energy preservation, long-term consistency. Science shows consistency beats intensity every time. 1 hour daily for a year beats 10 hours once a month. Burnout doesn't come from work, it comes from resistance. Sustainable effort always wins. Here's what most people get wrong. They try to feel good before doing the work. Lazy but successful people reverse this. They delay dopamine. Instead of rewarding themselves first, they attach dopamine after action. Checking progress. Marking tasks complete. Visible streaks. This trains the brain to associate effort with reward. People who reward themselves before effort train procrastination. Your brain repeats whatever gets rewarded, not whatever you intend. This is how lazy people rewire behavior without force. Lazy people hate complexity. That's an advantage. Successful lazy people create constraints. Fewer goals. Narrow focus. Clear rules. Constraints reduce cognitive load. And lower cognitive load increases execution. Example. 1 main goal per quarter. 1 metric. 1 priority per day. People with too many goals feel busy, not effective. Freedom doesn't create action. Constraints do. This is where lazy people quietly outperform grinders. Because lazy people avoid brute force. They naturally look for shortcuts. Not unethical shortcuts, structural ones. Templates. Reusable systems. Automation. Delegation. Psychology calls this cognitive economy. The brain prefers repeating patterns over reinventing effort. Hard workers repeat work. Lazy thinkers reduce work. Effort scales poorly. Systems scale infinitely. This is why lazy people dominate tech, business, and creative fields. Hard workers often build identity around suffering. If it's hard, it must be right. Lazy people don't romanticize struggle. They only care if something works. This protects them psychologically. Less ego attachment. Faster pivots. Less burnout. People who tie identity to effort resist better methods. Success doesn't care how hard you tried. This mindset keeps lazy people adaptable and ahead. Lazy people hate constant effort. So they favor long-term leverage. Skills that compound. Assets that earn repeatedly. Habits that require low maintenance. Instead of sprinting, they build once and collect forever. People who chase intensity burn out. People who chase leverage accumulate power. Lazy people don't work less, they work once. Now the ending lands with weight. Here's the truth you need to hear. If you're lazy, you don't need motivation. You need structure. You don't need discipline. You need systems. The most successful people aren't pushing harder. They're designing smarter. Once you stop fighting your brain and start cooperating with it, everything changes. In the next video, I'll explain why willpower always fails and how environment secretly controls your behavior. If you want science-based self-improvement without fake hustle, subscribe. Because success doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from understanding yourself better.